Hey, it's Rosie again, and I want to talk to you today in this video about toddler behavior and saying no. This video was in response to a question that was left on my blog about my last post, which was how to survive toddler temper tantrums. And if you haven't seen that yet, after the video is finished, you might want to check that out because it has some fantastic information in it for you, and I think you could really use it. So what I want to talk about today is what I'm going to tell you basically is why it doesn't work, why saying no all the time to a toddler or really any child doesn't work, and what to do instead. So first of all, let's talk about it. Well, let me give you the question. The question was, and this is such a frequently asked question, that's why I wanted to do a post on this. And that is my 18-month-old is constantly sticking his hands in the garbage can or playing with the lid of the garbage can, and I'm concerned because there's germs, and he won't take no for an answer. It's just not cutting it. My saying no all the time is not cutting it, and it's affecting my confidence as a parent. So, first of all, let me tell you, I totally identify with this, and you may have something like this going on in your house too. But when my daughter was about a year old or so, she wanted to get in the cat box all the time. Yeah, I was mortified. She would try to eat the cat litter. So I understand exactly where this is coming from, and you probably have something very similar happening in your house, or some safety thing or something that is just so frustrating that it just really need to know how to handle it. So let's get started. Let's talk about why we don't want to do it first. No's don't work. Just plain out no's. They just do not work to teach your child what you want them to learn, which is how to handle the trash can safely, or whatever it is, other thing that you're dealing with. So why do the no's not work? Well, first of all, it's a little bit abstract. Just think about it. If you're saying no, how is your child hearing that? No what? He doesn't understand. He might just keep touching it just to try to understand what it is that you don't want him to do. That's called research. And simply what we would do in that case is to walk over there and just guide them away from it. Pick them up if they're, of course we're going to tell them first, I'm going to pick you up now or something like that. Or let's look over this way. So he might just be doing research to figure out what it is you want to say, what you're saying no to. So that's one reason why they don't work. So what you would want to do instead was tell them exactly what you do want them to do. You want to be very specific, such as, let's look at the trash can together. Let's look together and see what's in there. Now I want you to look with your eyes, please, and I'll help you. So I remember when one time someone else heard me say that to my child, and they started laughing and sort of making fun of me and giving me a hard time. Look with your eyes. It's double using the word twice. Well, children need that kind of help sometimes. Look with your eyes is very specific. It tells them exactly what to do. It's reiterating the point. It doesn't say reach in with your hands. We may say that eventually, but it's very specific. Look with your eyes. So if you can say something like that, tell them exactly what it is you do want them to do instead of just giving a blanket no. And you may want to help them. But I'm going to get to those points in a few minutes. Why it doesn't work, right? We need to stick to the topic. Another reason it doesn't work is because we need to create an active learning situation in our home. We want to, a child is always learning. That is their job in this world, is to learn how to live in it successfully. So, and our job is to help them do that. So when we're constantly pressing against that, we're stopping them at every turn, they're wanting to explore, no they can't, it's going to cause a lot of problems. There's two ways it could go here. It can either create a more passive child who just becomes uninterested in learning, or it create a very defiant, headstrong, let's see, how do we put this, sort of power struggle, constantly being in power struggles with your child, very rebellious. Now, we don't want to do either one of those things, obviously. I tell you, I must have heard a lot of no's when I was a kid, because I was pretty much stuck in that phase for about 20 years. But I did move past it, thank goodness. And you can help your child move past it. Children go into stages of development each year of their life, especially in the first like 6 years or so. And we can work with our children to help them move through those stages, or they can get stuck in there. It's not always things that we do that get them stuck. Sometimes it's just their temperament or their genetics or personality, is what I'm trying to say. So, but we need to be able to help them through it regardless. If it's stuff that we're doing or it's just naturally happening, because some children are going to be a little bit more headstrong than other ones. And there is ways to work around that. There is ways to work with them, and I'm going to teach you how to do that kind of stuff. So that's one reason why we don't want to say no all the time. And we don't want to stop their learning in any way. So what do we do instead? Well, okay, so let's talk about that. One of the things we can do instead is what I just spoke about a minute ago. It was give very specific directions. Okay, this is like sort of teaching or explaining to a child why it is that the trash can might not be okay, or the cat box isn't okay. So how I would do that is I would gently touch the child who's on their way to that thing. I would anticipate that. I would see it happening and walk with them over there, gently. Here, let me help you. Let's go look at it together. Make it a game, play with them. They're always playing games. So work with that. Let me help you. You could gently put your hand across them as they walk up to the cat box. You could gently touch them on the chest so that they're not going to rush in and do that. But you say, let me help you. Here, we'll look at it together. And you could explain the cat box or the trash can. And you could explain what's going on. Now, not all children are going to be able to do that, of course. And if they're not able to learn, you may even give them a piece of clean cat litter, or you may create a trash can that is safe for them to explore. So if they can't understand it, why it is that you don't want them to do it, then create then there's two things you can do. You can create a way where they can do it, or you can just get rid of it. You can just move it for temporary until the urge that they have to explore it passes, and it will pass, believe me. So let's go back. One thing is you can create a way that they can do it. So how could I do that with my cat box situation? Well, I could let my daughter touch the clean cat litter before it goes into the cat box. I could look at the cat litter with her and explain it to her and talk to her about it, or tell her that this is where our kitty goes to the potty, or anything that she can understand in her language, her level of understanding. Now, as I said, that may not do it. And if it doesn't, and there's still, more, the child still wants to explore it more, and it's not safe or clean or it's really frustrating for us, then we just move it. Okay? Putting a stool or putting a chair in front of the bookshelf until they stop pulling the books off the shelves. Putting the CDs up on a higher shelf so they can't reach it. Just simple things like that. We want to make the environment where they can work with it. Okay, so we want to change it. Believe me, it's going to be temporary. We just move things out of the way that is causing the problem. Okay, and then they will get past it, and then it won't be a problem anymore. And then there'll be a couple of months, they'll be able to hold the fragile thing gently as you do it together, and understand why you don't want them throwing it up in the air, the grandma's vase. So there is always, like I say, ways to work with children. Excuse me, I need to look at my time because I'm on YouTube time. All right, we have just a couple of minutes. So if I have missed anything in this post, or you have more questions, then please leave them for me here on the comment section below, and I will be glad to answer more of them for you. And so let me know. All right, thank you.